No. No.
Seriously. Get out. Get out.
Get out. Video their car. They're about to zoom off. I know, but I don't want you.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a story that should not happen if we were not living in Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world, where we put criminals on a pedestal and we punish law-abiding citizens for being good law-abiding citizens, okay? And this is funny because yesterday I did a story about a bus driver in Charlotte who got fired for defending himself from a criminal who opened fire on him on the bus because the criminal apparently was hungry, right? He wanted to get dropped off at McDonald's. The bus driver said no, and then he got in an argument with the bus driver, and a shootout occurred. Now, if you haven't seen that video, you can go check it out. YouTube age restricted it, okay? So I'm not sure if it showed up on your feed, but yeah, crazy story. We have another crazy story about a law-abiding citizen or law-abiding citizens getting fired for being good citizens. As we got to go out to Georgia, right? As we got to talk about a story involving Lululemon, which I believe is a retail store that sells clothes. And they were being robbed by some young scholars, okay? I mean, you know, it's not hard to guess what they probably looked like, okay? And apparently, 2 employees did the wrong thing by calling the police on them, right? They called the police to report the robbery, and apparently that's against company policy. And because of that, Lululemon fired these 2 employees for simply, again, calling the police on criminals. It's truly an incredible story. Take a look.
No. No.
Seriously. Get out.
2 Georgia women say they were fired from their jobs at Lululemon after calling police to report this robbery, which one of them caught on camera.
No, you can.
Jennifer Ferguson and Rachel Rogers describing to NBC affiliate 11 Alive Atlanta the horrifying moments the merchandise at the Peachtree Corner store was stolen.
They swiped until they couldn't hold any more product and ran out the door.
We didn't really feel very protected or like know what else to do.
The women say they were fired from their jobs after they decided to call the police about the shoplifting, something they say they were told is against company policy. So what are they supposed to do instead?
You kind of clear a path for whatever they're going to do, and then after it's over, you scan a QR code.
Rogers, who says she's worked at the company for 5 years, claims that the store has been dealing with thefts for months, recalling another incident.
Someone like sent me a picture of the front entrance table, and I was like, oh my gosh, like we just sold all the product, like good job. And they were like, no, like someone just came in and stole everything.
But this was the first time she knows of someone at the store calling police, which local authorities confirm. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office says 3 men have been charged with theft by shoplifting and theft by receiving stolen property from that incident. And they're currently in the Fayette County Jail. Videos of brazen shoplifting have gone viral from stores across the country. And it's common practice for retailers to tell their employees not to intervene.
80% of retailers are experiencing violent incidents. One is to tell folks you should not be interfering or apprehending folks if you do not have the training.
And while a punishment after calling the police for shoplifting might be head-scratching to some, retail trade organizations say it might be more common than you think because some stores have relationships with law enforcement and don't want to waste resources on petty crime.
They don't want to waste their time on what may be an entry-level shoplifting issue when they could be doing something else, because then they're not necessarily going to be as quick to respond the next time when they do need someone there.
Ferguson and Rogers say their actions led to their termination for vague reasoning.
They have a no tolerance policy.
They said because they have a zero tolerance policy.
We tried calling the store and reaching out to Lululemon's corporate offices and did not hear back. Both women now adjusting to their new lives after the April incident.
That was my sole income, so I did have to file for unemployment, and use all of my savings to pay for like my car payment.
It put us in a bit of a bind. My husband is self-employed, so we're trying to figure out insurance.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. These young scholars who probably were going to be future engineers, okay, future astronauts, lawyers, doctors. Yeah, they were going to be some positive contributors to society, right? They stole thousands of dollars worth of stuff from this retailer, but yet this retailer is punishing the employees for committing the crime of, I don't know, calling the police, right? You know, or trying to do something about the fact that merchandise is being stolen out the store. Again, Lord forbid you try to stop a criminal from committing a crime in 2023. You're going to be punished, right? And again, we see too many stories like this in this country because we live in a country where we are coddling and emboldening criminals, okay? Now, I understand that Lululemon has their own policy in regards to how they handle situations like this, okay? They say that, hey, we have our own connections or relationship with the police department. We have a certain way of handling this stuff. We want employees to basically get out of the way, okay? Clear a path, right, for the criminals to basically steal everything out of the store. I guess so that the employees don't get hurt, which I get it. I get why stores tell employees, hey, don't try to stop thieves, okay? I get it. You don't want them to get hurt. You don't want to even open up that can of worms of having somebody stop a thief and then they end up getting shot and killed. They end up getting hurt. Something happens to them. I understand that. But in this situation, they didn't really try to stop them as much as they just recorded the incident and, again, called the police, which, again, is probably an obscure policy that a lot of them didn't even know about, right? They didn't even know that, okay, we're not supposed to call the police because otherwise they probably wouldn't have done it. But in a situation like that, I mean, you instinctively call the police because these people just committed a crime. They came into the store and stole thousands of dollars worth of stuff. They're calling the police. They're doing what they're doing because they don't want stuff to be stolen from the company. They're trying to protect the company. They have the company's best interests at heart. But apparently you're not supposed to care, right? You're supposed to let the thieves steal everything and you're not supposed to give a damn, right? And then when the store closes up because it's been robbed out of existence, then it's too bad, so sad for you, right? And that's my biggest problem with this, okay? They tell employees, hey, don't intervene. In some cases, they don't even allow you to protect yourself. They don't even allow you to carry so that if somebody's robbing the store and they got a gun pointed at you, you can't even defend yourself. Again, you don't get anything if it so happens that the store goes out of business because they can't operate due to all of the theft and the robbery. Again, that's the shame here, right? That is the shame here because, again, it's one thing for you to say, hey, just let them steal everything, but that doesn't stop the store from losing money, right? The store loses money, store goes out of business. Who suffers? The employees, right? It is the employees' best interest to actually step up and to stop theft, okay, or to prevent criminals from stealing because stealing for the store is only going to hurt the employees because that's how they keep their jobs, right? Again, it's just sad. It really is sad. And just think about the incentive that this creates for criminals, okay? So now criminals know if they rob a Lululemon that the police are not going to be called on them immediately. They know that strategically if they would go into one of these stores and try to rob the place, they know, okay, well, these employees are not going to intervene. They're not going to call the police. They're being told to do nothing. We know that we can just, run a hit on this store, on this retailer, and probably try to get away with it if we plan properly, right? If we do what we need to do. So, hey, I mean, I can't feel too bad for this retailer if their stores start closing down and then they go out of business in some parts of the country where, again, this is happening. Can't feel bad for them, but I feel bad for the employees who are not allowed to prevent their store from going out of business because they can't stop thieves from, again, robbing the store out of business. It's really sad and pathetic that law-abiding citizens are suffering because of criminals and woke corporations that really don't have common sense, okay? I don't think that this was necessarily a fireable offense, and if it was, I think that sometimes you got to make exceptions because you need to do the right thing. Okay, I understand the rules are there, but you got to make an exception. Same thing with, again, the Charlotte bus incident. Yeah, I understand the rules are that you can't carry firearms, but had that bus driver not been carrying a firearm, he would be dead, right? He would be dead. The fact that he carried a firearm is the reason why his life was saved. Again, I don't understand. Why did the bus driver get fired for that? I mean, if anything, it just shows you that the policy needs to be changed, that maybe you should allow bus drivers to carry so that they can protect themselves. But again, apparently the city officials in Charlotte don't believe that to be the case. And in this situation right here, you have Lululemon, who basically is saying, hey, well, we're not really going to reward the employees for instinctively doing the right thing and calling the police. We're just going to fire them, and we're going to send that message to the rest of our employees that, again, if you try to stop criminals, okay, if you try to step up and, you know, again, Lord forbid, prevent a thief from stealing, right, or prevent a criminal from committing a crime, you're going to be punished. Amazing. We live in a very, very, very screwed up society. We really do. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.